Welcome back, Chicago, to another episode of Breaking Chains and Building Dreams. Today we're diving deep into the battleground of my past, where the streets of Chicago were a war zone and survival meant mastering the art of drug dealing, dodging bullets, and running for your life. Get ready for a raw, unfiltered journey through the darkest alleys and the most dangerous moments of my life. This isn't an ordinary tale. This is a war story where I, JC, lay bare the reality of life forged in fire. So buckle up, hold tight, and let's march into that yard together. This is Breaking Chains and Building Dreams. Súbanse a la suburban. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Chains and Building Dreams. JC here, your host, and I am wrong to strong. You know, by the time I was 16, I pretty much knew how to sell every kind of drug you could possibly think of. From acid to PCP to cocaine to crack to heroin. I mean, you know, there was really nothing that I wasn't learning or dabbing with by that age. Obviously, I was, selling for my boss, but at the same time, I was selling for myself and learning. You always learn to be a criminal as you're being a criminal. And what I mean by that is you start selling some of your own stuff between the stuff that you're selling. And you're not supposed to do that, but I'm pretty sure everybody that started selling drugs did that at one time. So by the time I was 16, I pretty much knew how to sell everything. At the time, my street boss was dabbling with different, things, and crack wasn't a big, I guess you could say like a big Latino street gang or like it just we didn't really sell. It sold more in black neighborhoods. I don't know why, don't ask me, but that's what it was. And since we were very close to the GDs and the black gangs over there by 59th Street, my boss started dabbing with selling crack cocaine. And when I first went to go work for him, I was like, you're going to pay me $2 off of each rock I sell. And I was like, man, that's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing. But little did I know that the traffic is crazy. It's nonstop. It's all night. It's all day. It just keeps going. Like, it was just nonstop. My first day there, I made about $1,000, and it was, in 24 hours. So I immediately, I guess you could say, got addicted to just staying there working and doing that, and it was different because, some of the other gangs that do this kind of hustle, they do it while they're standing out on the street. That's how they sell it. They're on the block, people drive up, they run up, they sell it, but but you risk getting caught more like that. So, what my boss did was he rented an apartment and started selling out the back door. We set up shop. But the thing is that when you do something like that and you're in somebody else's territory, and what I mean by that is gangs, because gangs control a lot of these drug houses. You're stepping on their toes, and now that you're stepping on their toes, it's not gonna be cool. So we got really busy, man. We got really busy. We were constantly selling, and it ended up turning into like a little hangout spot. A lot of the SDs from 59 would go hang out over there. It was on 61st and Troy. And it was really close to, the GDs and the Ambros, and it's an area where it's mixed, black and Mexicans pretty much, and whites. But it was crazy because like I got to see. I guess that's where I started feeling like different about drug addicts, because like I told myself I'll never become that. That's why like when I turned into like a crackhead in the prison in Mexico, it hit me so hard, because like I had said I'll never become that, and I ended up becoming that. But that's he or she. Anyway, so I was there every day selling. I got really addicted to the money, and just really not having to do anything and just get paid. But what really messed me up was just the amount of like things people would bring, the things they were willing to do for the drug. It was a little intense. I'm not gonna lie. There was this lady that brought her daughter once, and I was like, no, like, what's wrong with you? Like, I couldn't even believe it. I felt so bad. But I got to see a really ugly side of that drug, of that darkness on that street that really doesn't shut off. It's going 24 hours. So yeah, I'm on top of the world. That I think, making money. Uh, One day, my boss comes over to reload me. Reload means I ran out and he's bringing me more. And he comes over with his girl, and his girlfriend is sitting on the couch. He's sitting on the couch. We're just chilling. I think at the time they were playing Nintendo or something. And I hear like these loud bangs downstairs. And it's almost like a crash, like a car crashing against another car. And I hear screaming, like, get on the floor. And at first I thought it was like somebody getting robbed downstairs or something. But then I heard police. So right away, I run to the bathroom, and I start, flushing the toilet, flushing it over and over again. And I hear a bang. So I run to the front door and open it. And all I see is a huge shotgun barrel. And at the time, I guess I got so spooked that I didn't really realize that it was the cops. So like I ran through the house to the back door, but they were already coming in through the back door. They ended up arresting us, and they found some guns, horse tranquilizers, all kinds of stolen property, just a lot of stuff. They took us down to the police station. This was the time in my life where I was really trying to make like a name for myself. I guess you could say I was trying to be like the teacher's pet. I was trying to make my boss proud. And little did I know, it didn't matter what I did. But we got to the police station, and they brought all the stuff in. And I told the cop, I was like, those are my guns, those are, my drugs, and I pretty much took the rap for everything. At the time, I thought that I was doing what needed to be done as a soldier, as a good, warrior, a good, I don't know, peewee, whatever you want to call it. And took the rap, got locked up, got sent to the county. And, I really in my heart thought that he was going to bond me out. I was going to be out like in a matter of hours. And yeah, you took the rap like that scene in Goodfellas, you know what I mean, where he gets arrested for the first time. Nope. He left me in there. I never got bonded out, and it took one of my other friends to get really upset and, pretty much pull the money out of him to come and get me out because I needed to pay a bond. I already had a lot of gun cases already by that time, and it wasn't it wasn't looking good for me with another 2 gun cases on top of what I had, and all the drugs and stuff that they found. Well, he ended up getting me out, and this is when I was spending a lot of time on the streets. I had pretty much ran away already from home. I was not going back, and I was just on the streets, like, yeah, I was trying to survive, trying to make whatever money I could to just make it pretty much, because I was living on 59th Street. I was living at the salon, and I was sleeping pretty much everywhere. And when I started to make a little bit of money, it gave me a chance to sometimes, I guess you could say, get away, go get a hotel, and just chill, because it was hard always sleeping in someone else's house. I ended up getting bonded out, and I really thought that they were gonna lock me up and then throw away the key, and I'm not gonna lie, I was terrified, but I was like, okay, so if I go away, maybe I could go to school and do things that I'm not gonna do out here ever. Because this is when I was really in my gangbanging stage. It's those days where you're actually thinking that you'll die for the mob, you'll do whatever. You'll do a life sentence. You'll become Inca. So a little bit of time passed, and I went to my first court sentencing. And this is what I tell everybody and why I tell my stories, because if you can't see God's hand in all these stories I share, all these experiences, all these, I guess you could say, storms, now that I am calm and I am at peace and I have God in my life, I'm able to sit back and actually see his work that was always there behind the scenes. He never left. He was always there. Even when I was in that dark room, he was there with me. So I show up to court, and I show up with a couple of the guys. Valerie was with me that day, and I had cut my hair because I had a shag. And for those that don't know what a shag is, it's a piece of hair that just grows on the back of your head. And that's what a shag is. It's a Chicago haircut. But I cut it off and just pretty much gave myself a regular haircut and just didn't show up looking like a gang member. I cleaned up, I put on normal clothes. I actually had a dress shirt on that day. And I walked into court, and when the judge asked the police officer to point out the individual that they had arrested in the raid, the police officer couldn't identify me. And let me tell you, I only cut my hair, I cut my mustache, I cleaned up. That's pretty much what I did. It's not like I got plastic surgery. Nah. That's just how, even when we don't deserve it, God was still looking out for me. He couldn't point me out. So the judge ended up throwing that case out that same day. That day, I walked out of there, giving high fives to Val and Oscar and a bunch of my friends. But I didn't realize that God had done that for me. It's almost like he pulled on my ears to say, look, don't go that route. Because right after that is right when I ended up in prison in Mexico. You know, my life has been fast and the furious. It's been like a race car. Everything's been lived in very short periods. Everything's been super fast. You know, I walked out of there thinking that I had beat that case. That because I shaved my mustache off and cut my hair, that I had beat that case. Well, today I give full credit to God and what he's done in my life and what he continues to do. You know, yesterday at the men's prison here in Arizona, one of the guys stepped up and said that he really appreciated someone like me coming back and giving them the motivation to do better. Someone that's lived it and been through it. Because they have a lot of people that go in there, but they just don't connect with them. It's moments like that that I realize that everything that I went through in the past, everything that the enemy tried to put his little booby traps to destroy me, God has used to empower me. He's taught me resilience, but most of all, he's taught me to love. I don't think that I would be the same JC if I wouldn't have had moments like that in my life. Moments where I really thought that I had it figured out, when in all reality, it was God that had it under control. Once again, I share these stories not to brag, not to laugh, maybe a smile, but I share them just so you could experience how great the transformation was in my life. And with that, we've reached the end of another intense chapter. If my story resonated with you, if you felt the heart of the battleground and the call to change echoing in your soul, then it's time to act. Join our mission in spreading the word and making a difference today. Head over to our GoFundMe page and support our prison ministry work, and subscribe to Breaking Chains and Building Dreams on your favorite podcast platform. Together, we'll keep breaking chains and building dreams and shining light in the darkest corners. Until next time, stay strong, stay resilient, and keep fighting a good fight. This is JC signing off. Súbanse a la Suburban. Let's go.